Hello, back to basics. Welcome to our channel. I'm Dana, Miss Danadress, and I'm your vlogger for today. So this month is February, and we're kind of talking about love in lots of areas. And this week is our body week, and we are really talking about our love life. The question is, has our love life changed since weight loss surgery, and if so, how? Yes, it has changed for me in some ways, and in some ways it has not. I'm 19 months post-op VSG. I have been married a long time. My husband and I celebrated 19 years of marriage last November, and our kids are grown. We have been empty nesters for probably 7 years now. We had a his and a hers when we got married, so our kids were older, and then, they've since grown up and we're grandparents. So, we are set in our ways, I guess, in some aspects, and weight loss surgery has not changed some of that. So, some specific things that have not changed. Neither one of us are super adventurous, and that has not changed. Both of us are having our own hormonal issues, and that has not changed. So he has his own issues as far as some health stuff that has created some consequences. And I am very much, and of course my weight loss surgery didn't do anything for that. For me, I am very much perimenopausal, close to menopausal, and let me just tell you, if you've not lived through it, the hormones, they do some different stuff to your body. As my one friend puts it, you just become a dried up, shriveled old prune. That's kind of true. And I have really not a lot of drive. And it's been that way for a while, and it continues to be that way. The fact that I've dropped a lot of weight has not really changed those hormonal things for me. And so I wish it had. I know that some people talk about they lose their weight and they feel like their hormones have shifted a lot. That's not the case for me. So those kinds of things that are kind of the biological stuff, not relating to the look, and have not shifted. Some things that have shifted. Of course, how I feel about my body has shifted to some extent, and our ability for the mechanics have shifted to some extent. Some of that to some comedic proportions. So we had our 19th anniversary in November, as I said, and I thought that, I would put we were going away, and I thought I would put a little spice into the occasion. So, I have not been a big proponent of lingerie. I mean, you can't find lingerie when you're really large. And in fact, I still have difficulty finding lingerie because of the boobs and the issues that I have with boobs. Lots of issues. Number one, the size, and my band size is now really small, but my cup size is big, and they're just as hard to find now, really, in some ways, as they were before. And then certain kinds of things, I just have to wear support, put it that way. But I'm like, I'm going to make a big deal, and I'm going to go get some lingerie as a surprise. And in my head, we were going to go away. We had rented this little cozy mountain retreat motel log cabin room, and I, in my head, was going to do kind of a lingerie show for him. and do a little maybe kind of dancing stuff and sex it up. And it's funny because he and I have this joke about Jamie Lee Curtis and Jamie Lee Curtis's dance in True Lies. So if you've ever seen that movie True Lies, she's a housewife, and then she ends up going, getting conned into this pretend that you're a spy thing, and she goes into this hotel room and she does this sexy dance for someone she doesn't know is her husband, but it turns out to be her husband anyway. And he teases me about being Jamie Lee. So number one, we saw that movie when we got engaged, so it's one of our favorite movies. Number two, I continue to get my hair cut shorter and shorter over years, and he calls me Jamie Lee. So in my head, I'm going to go in and do the sexy dance thing in my cute lingerie, a la Jamie Lee. And so we got there, and I put on an outfit, and I kind of modeling, and he's like, oh, that's nice, but, and it turned out to just be very embarrassing. And I ended up being really upset because what I wanted to do in my head was be a sex kitten. And when I tried to do that, it just became so obvious to me that I am not comfortable. I felt very vulnerable, even with this man that I love and who I've been with a long time. I felt very vulnerable in a lingerie getup. I felt very vulnerable kind of trying to play this role of sexy and him kind of watch. And it was just realizing that, that inadequacy of being in my body in that way, it just overwhelmed me. And so I guess what I'm learning is that I have to really still work on and figure out how to connect with that sensual part of my body in a different way now that I have a different body. You don't do that, or I didn't do that when I was big. I still have some discomfort in what I look like, even though it's so much better. And so while I felt like I kind of took a step to change, how something was going to be in our love life, and it was kind of a almost failure, not exactly. No, things worked out. And it turned out to be a fine weekend, but it wasn't exactly what I envisioned. So, so yeah, I think that it has changed in that way. Another thing is that my husband and I have always been affectionate, but we're able to be affectionate in different ways than we never were, of course, now that I weigh 140 pounds less. Like, I can go sit in his lap and feel like I'm not hurting him. He would have said, oh, she could always sit in my lap. And I wouldn't have done that. We couldn't fit in a chair together. I couldn't feel like I wasn't hurting him. So I will sometimes now, yes, come and sit on his lap, or, kind of straddle his lap or what, and just to kiss and hug. And it's a different behavior than I was ever able to do before. So that has made a change. The other thing is that I really have, since weight loss surgery, made even bigger efforts to make sure that I let him know that I love him and he means a lot to me, and how important our relationship is. Because I did not want, and I do not want our marriage to go through a lot of issues that marriages do after weight loss surgery. And it's still, I'm sure that there are some dynamics there, but I've tried to make sure that he knows how important that he is to me. And so even while I'm stepping away to be involved with new things or new friends, new people. And believe me, I do want to flirt and you know, enjoy the new body. Don't get me wrong, I like that. But to also reinforce that, you know, he is very important to me, and I try to show it in deeds and in words. So that's it, really. You know, yes, this definitely slops over into your love life. Part of me wonders, ooh, what would this mean if I was single? Boy, I think in some ways I think I'd be having a good old time, and in other ways, man, if I can't get naked in front of my husband and not be embarrassed, or in lingerie in front of my husband and not be embarrassed the way I was, you know, as I described, I'd be up shit creek if I was single and having to be in front of people that I didn't know very well. So that's it. I'm looking forward to hearing what other folks say about this topic, and I hope you have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.